am I going to do is when we are out of India in any other country, okay, the culture of that country is the significant influence to the children born in that country, from the Jain children born and raised in that country as opposed to uh, migrating from India. What we uh, what we faced when we raised the family, like myself, like in America or any other, any other Western countries, like it is certain things we take it granted. I've been in this country more than 50 years, and you've seen significant. Uh, you learn a lot of cultural aspect of this country when your kids are going to the high schools and colleges. Okay, what we observed it, that's about 70% plus of our children are marrying non-Jains. The Jain children marrying non-Jains, and 70% plus, I would say. Okay, we have a tough time to find even Jain marrying Jain. There few, and that's why I say it's about 25% or less type number. In that kind of the environment, it is difficult for Jainism even to survive in this country, because when your number is very small to begin with, and then 70% of them are marrying to non-Jains, we need to make sure that we we understand all the basics of all other religion also. That's why we can better communicate. Our children are well prepared when they really get married and start a new life. And if they were given something to go by, I think we will really help them to lead their life properly, because they have reasonable understanding of at least the basic knowledge of the Western religion, which is basically Judaism, Christianity, Islam, and Zoroastrian. Even the other Indian religions, particularly Hinduism, Buddhism, and Sikhism. Uh, and if you go further than that, the religion of China and Japan, Shintoism, Taoism, that kind of the things, because the world is getting smaller and smaller. Every family is here, and some family members are from the other faith, not other Indian faith only, but you find all these things. So what we decided, at least if we can bring some basic knowledge and basic understanding, instead of the things kind of culturally we are programmed from India, saying that no, Jain, you are fortunate that you are born in the Jain families, you are fortunate, many things, okay, and we really not understanding anything about other religion, we are making big statement about the other religion, and then we compare with our religion, which you don't know much about it anyway to begin with. So if you really look into all the aspect of it, our religion is one thing, and our culturally program, our mind, it is altogether different things. I learn a lot while traveling, doing workshop, teaching the youth. And some of the things even so surprises to me. When I was, about a couple of years ago, was doing workshop in Dallas, Texas. And one youth came to me and he said, can you able to explain me the Ahimsa Anuvrat definition? And kind of a standard answer I provided. KB Jainism has explained you in minute detail for the Ahimsa and and so on and so forth. Don't eat like root vegetables, don't eat at night, and all these kind of the things we talk about the Ahimsa. Then he gave me the book. He says, would you read the definition of Ahimsa Anuvrat? And that is taken out from Agam. It is the seventh Agam, Upashak Dashan. Upashak Dashan, there are 10 disciples, Sravak disciples of Bhagavan Mahavir. You may have heard about Anand Sravak's definition. Anand Sravak name. And when Bhagavan Mahavir established Chaturvid Sangh, that Chaturvid Sangh was established, at least you have one member of each Sangh. Gautam Swami was the first monk, took the Diksha, and he took 5 great vows, 5 Mahabrat. Chandan Bala was the first Sadhvi who took the Diksha, and she also took 5 Mahavrats. So, Achar for monks and nuns are Mahavrats. What is the Achar for Shravak and Shravika? Because that's how we call it Chaturvid Sangh, that there is a one Shravak took the 12 vows of the lay people, which are not as strict as monks and nuns. But that's why we call it Anuvrat. So, Anand Sravak, he is the one who has taken the 12 vows of the lay people. And the Sulsa Sravika is the one who has taken the 12 vows of the woman. Okay, because they cannot practice very strict rules and regulations like monks and nuns do. So Bhagavan Mahavira gave them avoid big sins, but something which are very small sins, I'm using it for lack of better words. No, the big sins, you avoid it. So majority of the ahimsa, you are practicing it. The small sins, which is unavoidable because we cannot otherwise live, we cannot survive. We got to eat vegetables. Okay, you cannot live inorganic food on inorganic food. You have to have the organic food, and organic food is a life. Absolutely no doubt about it, and no question even they ask is. But that is unavoidable sin. If you cannot survive, what good the life is? Okay, if you cannot survive, there is no life. So Bhagwan Mahavira gave Mahavrat for sadhus and sadhvis, and Anuvrat for Shravak and Shravika. Now, if you look into only the first vow, that vow is called Ahimsa Anuvrat. How Bhagwan Mahavira defined, and this is on the seventh agam. Seventh agam, which is the same as seventh angagam, that was compiled by Gandhar. The 11th angagams, all 11 angagams are compiled by Gandhar. Out of 45 or other 32 agams, first 11, it is the compiled by Gandhar. So you can see these are the people who heard Bhagavan Mahavir directly, and they compiled into the sutra form and presented to us. So they are the most accurate one. All other agams, which is the Upanga agam, the Chit sutras, the Mool sutras, Prakrinak, all those things, they are compiled by acharyas, later on the acharyas, not by Gandhar, and there could be significantly more error as relatively, because it is not the direct listening of Bhagwan Mahavir. Direct listening is only the 11 angagams. Okay, that's what we have compiled into it. And this, when I read the definition of Ahimsa Anuvrat, it was little shocking to me, even in spite of teaching the religion for so many years and went through so much, experience. The definition was very simple. Let me just say it in Gujarati and Hindi first, so that you understand, because sometimes it's very difficult to make it proper English translations. Okay, sometimes it is. But the definition is halta chalta nirapradhi pranini jani joine hinsa na karvi. Very simple definition, and that definition even today, you look at for any other Maharaj Sahib, they all have maintained that definition. Maintain means in the book. If you read the book for Ahimsa Anuvrat, this is the definition you will see. First of all is a halta chalta, movable living beings. Niraparati, movable living being has two categories. Like, anybody who is moving, okay, he may be at fault for whatever thing. He has broken the law, whatever could be. So, but here we talk about if somebody has not broken any laws, no morality issues, nothing like that, okay? Halta chalta nirapradhi pranini. Jani joine. Sometimes ajanta, without have any knowledge, you might hurt somebody, okay? If you are hurting somebody knowingly, versus if you are hurting somebody unknowingly. Let's say I'm walking on the street. When I'm walking on the street and talking to my friend, and because of my unawareness, I killed insect. I step on the insect. Just this thing happens on a day-to-day life for Shravak and Shravika all the time. Then that one is not included in the vows. That doesn't mean you don't get a sin. You do. But the intensity of the sin, when you want to kill somebody and you hurt somebody, okay, that sin intensity is pretty high. Then here you don't have any intention to kill. Just it happened. Okay, it was not your intention to kill. Then the magnitude and the density of the sin is significantly high. If you just by mistake, unintentionally, then you do have the sin, but not the same magnitude. Okay, that is the key things we are looking. So we are minimizing lesser magnitude sins. So if you practice the Shravaks Anuvrat properly, then don't hurt any movable living beings which are niraparadhi, not guilty. Okay? And you are not hurting for the sake of hurting or harming them. You got by yourself hurting somebody unknowingly. Okay? And again, you are the judge and you are a jury. No. Do you want to just tell people, oh, I have just done it? No, unknowingly. Unknowingly. That is not the way you live the life. Jain way of life is always aware of what you are doing. But when you are Shravak and Shravika, not every moment it is possible. That is the things they have given you, this leverage. But this leverage only includes major sins. Very minute sins is not included. And the guy asked me one simple question. Could you tell me where it is written, I cannot eat Ratri Bhojan? Where it is written, I cannot eat root vegetables? And I tell you one thing, I could not even sleep that night. I said, I got to find this answer. This is from Agam. And in this Agam, here is the things, and our culture is been like, I grew up that way. I never eat root vegetables until I came to this country. Okay. And no Ratri Bhojan. I used to do like so many days in a year, Posha. These are all my completely achar, which is kind of a program in a sense, because I'm doing it without finding out what is written in the Agam. And here is the one person comes back, explains to me, not explains, just showing me. And I'm not able to even, from fundamentals point of view, I could not even answer that question. So I started looking into many things. That when did the first time it appears at the Agam level? When does we have either Stanakwasi like 32 Agams or 45 Agams of Svetambara? At least those literature are accessible to us. It is all, these books are available on the eLibrary, at least Hindi and Gujarati are available. We don't have every Agam converted into English. But at least for us, we all have it. And up to 12th century, I could not find any record, the acharyas indicating to their Shravaks not to eat. That doesn't mean it is wrong. Keep certain things in the mind. Whatever you are using as a one sense living being for your survival, for your healthy survival, I'm not using the word anything other than that. Okay, you need to consume. If you do any waste, it is a violence, because you are killing one sense living being more than what is your need. Okay, more than what you're needing. So don't get a message here, oh, now I can just go and eat whatever I want to and do anything I want to for one sense living being. No, you don't have any right. However, for your healthy survival, you got to use it and never waste anything. Okay? If you are damaging environment because you are throwing away certain things which is going to hurt the environment, that is the highest sin, because you can destroy the whole humanity that way. Okay? Plastics waste. Okay? That is the destructions of the environment. Styrofoams, destructions of the environment. Okay? We should try to not use it. If you have to use it, use as minimum as possible. If there is alternate available, even though it could be more expensive. Okay? If you buy plastic plates, it could cost you a nickel or something like that. Okay? While the similar plate, biodegradable, it may cost you 10 times more, but it's still, the original cost is so small, so it doesn't matter whether is this one. But we should be very much environmental friendly, because anytime you degrade the environment, in reality you are hurting the whole humanity or all five sense living beings in that sense. So anyway, what I'm trying to tell you here, if we got so much programmed in this aspect of it, and we believe this is what the religion is, this is what the Jain religion is, without really properly understanding what are the rules. And we need to study the Jainism. If you are serious about it, then at least maybe 1 hour a day, or at least couple of hours a week, something like that, which you can practice it, understand it, discuss with more people, and try to understand the fundamentals of Jainism, and then practice it. Our Dasvaikalik Sutra is saying always, and we discussed this thing in the past several times, Padamam Nanam Tavodaya. First Gnan, knowledge, then Achar. Daya means Achar. It's the conduct, the behavior. Okay. Padamam Nanam Tavodaya. So what we are going to do here, that don't make any statement about other religions unless you have the basic fundamentals known to you about that religion. You don't have any right to make about somebody's which you have no knowledge about it, that religion. And you cannot make a statement about your own religion if you really understand what is the fundamentals. Not because you are practicing, oh, I'm not eating root vegetables, that's why I am the minute follower of the ahimsa. Have you find out any other things what you're doing? Okay, so don't try to make any statement which boosts our ego. because that's the basic violation of the Jain religion. If you don't want to show your virtues and others' faults, you try to find others' virtue and your fault if you want to progress spiritually. Okay. Otherwise, we are in the trap, completely in the trap. All right. Now, what